Wrong Turn 2, Dead End, 2007, is the first sequel to the original Wrong Turn 2003. While the first film established the terrifying premise of inbred, cannibalistic mountain men hunting innocent travelers in the West Virginia wilderness, Wrong Turn 2 marked a distinct and deliberate creative departure. The original film was a tense, atmospheric slasher directed by Rob Schmidt, aiming for a more serious, backwoods horror vibe. The sequel, however, embraced a far more splatterpunk, meta-horror aesthetic, prioritizing gore, dark comedy, and a higher body count. Director's vision. The film was directed by Joe Lynch, a filmmaker known for his deep love of classic horror and a willingness to push boundaries in terms of practical effects and excessive gore. Lynch openly stated his goal was to make a film that felt like a shot of adrenaline compared to the original slow burn. The shift to self-awareness. The sequel is notably more self-aware, utilizing a meta-narrative that critiques and celebrates the horror genre tropes it employs. This shift was key to distinguishing it from the first film and attracting a cult following. 1.2. The plot setup. Reality TV meets cannibalism. The premise of Wrong Turn 2 Dead End is designed to maximize the isolation and the potential for bloody conflict. The reality show hook. The story revolves around the filming of a fictional, low-budget, military-themed reality television show called The Ultimate Survivalist, The Appalachian Experiment. The show places 6 contestants, a mix of stereotypes, including a final girl, Melissa, a tough former Marine, Dale Murphy, a narcissistic model, Kimberly, and a troubled veteran, Jake, deep into a supposedly abandoned remote corner of the Appalachian Mountains. The absence of safety. The show's creator and host is the retired Marine Corps Colonel Dale Murphy, played by former Marine R. Lee Ermey, known for his intensely militaristic persona. The production is purposefully lean, minimizing safety measures and outside interference, which perfectly sets the stage for the Cannibal family to take over. The opening kill. The film establishes its high gore commitment immediately with the brutal murder of the production assistant and former contestant, Kimberly, who is diced up and run over by the Cannibal family's truck. This scene serves as a statement of intent. The cannibals are more brutal, and the sequel is not holding back. 2.0. Introducing the Family, the Mutated Collective. 2.1. Expanding the Cannibal Clan. One of the most significant changes from the first film is the expansion and detailed characterization of the inbred cannibal family. They are no longer just monstrous hunters. They are a functioning, albeit twisted, extended family unit living deep within the forgotten woods. Three Finger, the only returning original character, serves as the chaotic, often giggling psychopath leader. He maintains his status as the most active and recognizable killer. Ma, Pa, and the Children. The sequel introduces the horrific patriarch Pa and matriarch Ma, who act as the perverse leaders, ensuring the family's survival and perverse lifestyle. Crucially, the film also introduces the younger members, brother and sister, who are shown to be sexually active, violent, and contributing members of the clan. The uncanny ending. In one of the film's most disturbing and darkly comical moments, Ma gives birth to another mutant baby, further emphasizing the family's endless, terrifying self-propagation. 2.2. The thematic role of mutation. The film provides a clearer, albeit still sensationalized, explanation for the family's condition. Industrial neglect. The mutation is explicitly linked to inbreeding, combined with the long-term toxic exposure to chemical waste dumped into the environment by a nearby paper mill decades ago. This thematic element provides a slight nod to environmental horror and industrial neglect, suggesting the cannibals are not just monsters, but victims of corporate irresponsibility turned into predators. A twisted domesticity. Unlike the first film, where the cannibals were simply hunting, here they are shown living a grotesque form of normal life. They have family meals of human flesh. They have sex. They raise their children, and they communicate in grunts and guttural language. This detail makes their actions more chilling. It's not random hunting, but survival through ritualized murder. 3.0 Production Details and Behind the Scenes, Part 1. 3.1 Budget and Filming Location. Wrong Turn 2: Dead End was shot on a relatively low budget compared to major studio horror films, but it maximized its resources, particularly in its use of practical effects. Filming in Canada. Despite the film being set in the Appalachian Mountains of West Virginia, it was primarily filmed in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. The rugged forests and remote industrial sites around Vancouver perfectly doubled for the West Virginia wilderness and provided accessible locations for setting up the elaborate traps and stunts. The production hub. The production took advantage of the Canadian film crew's expertise, especially in the area of creature and gore effects, which was central to the director's vision. The casting. Horror veterans and reality stars. The cast was a mix of experienced horror actors and people known from reality TV, which further played into the film's meta-theme. R. Lee Ermey saving my ass and insisting that he led me slowly through the photos. R. Lee Ermey. The casting of R. Lee Ermey, famous for Full Metal Jacket, as Dale Murphy, was a brilliant meta-stroke. Ermey's recognizable role as a harsh military figure lent immediate credibility to the reality show's premise and provided a seasoned performer to contrast the younger, less experienced cast. Ermey delivers his expected intensity before meeting a spectacular end. Kimberly Caldwell. The inclusion of Kimberly Caldwell from American Idol and reality TV as the sacrificial opening kill heightened the film's self-awareness. It signaled that this was a reality show gone wrong, blending actual media personalities with horror movie stereotypes. The focus on practical gore. Director Joe Lynch was adamant on using practical special effects over CGI whenever possible to achieve the film's extreme level of gore. Savage deaths. The makeup and special effects team, led by Todd Masters, Masters FX, created custom prosthetic effects for every kill, including the infamous split-down-the-middle death of a contestant and the gruesome grill and eat scene involving Colonel Murphy. The gross-out factor. Lynch's commitment to practical gore ensured the film earned its reputation as a genuine splatter film, satisfying the target horror audience that values visceral, tangible violence over computer-generated blood.
One of the most defining aspects of Wrong Turn 2: Dead End is its unapologetic commitment to a high and inventive body count. Director Joe Lynch treated the sequel as a challenge to deliver unique and shocking practical gore effects, making the list of deaths a central feature of the film's appeal to horror fans. The confirmed on-screen and implied deaths total approximately 15, a significant increase from the original film, signaling the sequel's embrace of the splatter film subgenre. 5.2 Noteworthy and iconic death scenes. The kills in Wrong Turn 2 were designed not just for shock, but often with a dark sense of humor or homage to classic horror. Kimberly Caldwell, opening kill. After hitting one of the cannibals, brother, with her car, Kimberly's fate is sealed. In a brutal prologue that immediately sets the tone, her lower lip is violently bitten off, and she is later graphically cut in half longitudinally with an axe by the cannibals while still alive. This opening sequence acts as a clear warning that no character is safe and no violence will be spared. Dale Murphy, Arlie Ermey. The death of the film's most seasoned combatant, Colonel Dale Murphy, is a significant dramatic turning point. After going Rambo-style against the Cannibals, blowing several of them up with dynamite-tipped arrows, he is eventually incapacitated when Ma ambushes him, wrapping a razor wire around his neck and causing him to bleed out. This death reinforces the cannibals' primal, unpredictable nature, proving that military training is no match for their sheer savagery. The Grinder Kill. In a homage to the industrial horror of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, two of the villains, Ma and Pa, meet their end together. They are crushed, dismembered, and essentially fed through a giant tree debarker or grinder after a struggle with the final girl, Nina Pappas. This spectacular, over-the-top demise ensures the film ends with a flourish of practical gore. The Dinner Scene. The film's inclusion of a grotesque family dinner scene where the cannibals are shown happily eating the remains of their victims is a direct and self-aware nod to the most infamous scene from Tobe Hooper's Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 1974, cementing the sequel's position in the lineage of backwoods horror. 6.0. Awards, Reception, and Cult Status. 6.1. Critical Reception, Surprising Acclaim. Unlike most direct-to-video horror sequels, Wrong Turn 2: Dead End received surprisingly positive reviews from horror critics and genre publications. Rotten Tomatoes. The film holds a favorable rating of 70% based on critic reviews, making it the best-reviewed film in the entire Wrong Turn franchise. Genre praise. Critics from publications like Dread Central and Bloody Disgusting praised the film for being a hot ticket for some gore-soaked backwoods mayhem and one of the year's better genre offerings. It was lauded for being a fun, unapologetic splatter film that successfully avoided becoming a cheap and lazy cash-in. Homage and meta-narrative. Reviewers appreciated director Joe Lynch's energetic direction and his clear love for 1980s slasher sequels. The film was frequently compared favorably to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 for its effective blend of extreme gore, dark humor, and self-parody. 6.2. Awards and Box Office Success. As a direct-to-video release, Wrong Turn 2 did not compete for major theatrical awards, but it achieved success within the DTV market. Gérard Maire Film Festival. The film won the Best Direct-to-Video Film Award at the prestigious Gérard Maire Film Festival in France, a significant recognition of its quality within the specialized genre. Commercial performance. Despite its DTV status, the film was a major commercial success, reportedly grossing around $9 million in home video sales in the United States alone. This success proved the viability of the franchise and immediately greenlit the next sequel, Wrong Turn 3: Left for Dead. 7.0. Thematic Resonance and Legacy. 7.1. Commentary on Reality TV. The choice to set the film around a reality TV show, The Ultimate Survivalist, provides a subtle layer of thematic critique, common in 2000s horror, for example, Halloween Resurrection. The conceit allows the film to satirize the narcissism, petty squabbles, and manufactured drama of reality television. The contestants believe they are performing and surviving for the camera only to realize too late that they are simply meat being prepared for a real audience, the cannibal family. The use of camera footage and monitors throughout the film emphasizes the voyeurism inherent in both the reality TV and the horror genres. The role of Bear McCreary's score. The musical score composed by Bear McCreary, who would later gain fame for Battlestar Galactica and The Walking Dead, was crucial to establishing the film's tone. McCreary blended traditional Appalachian bluegrass and folk instruments, banjo, fiddle, to evoke the setting, but warped them and distorted them with heavy metal influences and unsettling percussion. This blend perfectly mirrored the film's aesthetic, traditional backwoods horror mutated into something modern and aggressive. Cult status and franchise anchor. Wrong Turn 2: Dead End has cemented its status as a cult classic and is widely regarded by fans as the best entry in the entire Wrong Turn franchise. Creative high watermark. It is seen as the creative high watermark before the franchise largely reverted to less inspired DTV cash-ins, Wrong Turn 3, 4, 5, and 6. It stands as a testament to what a horror fan director, given creative freedom, can achieve with a modest budget and a dedication to practical effects. The final's note. The film ends with the final girl, Nina, escaping, though the ending scene hints at a grim, lingering threat, ensuring the franchise could continue. More importantly, it features the birth of the new cannibal baby, literally ensuring the next generation of monsters is ready for the sequels, providing a perverse, darkly comedic closing thought on the family's unstoppable, dead-end legacy.